This amendment currently would be able to amend the general budget. When food services to state prisons were privatized in 2013, there was resistance from both legislators and invested stakeholders. And there were also fears that with the accountability framework for the services now loosened, that there will be problems with the new contract. And so those fears proved to be true when we discovered that Aramark employees have been having inappropriate relationships with inmates, have been smuggling in contraband, and were serving tainted food. When I say tainted food, there were instances of even maggots and rodent feces found in the food that we were serving inmates in our correctional facilities. And more than that, it created a security problem for our correction officers and the families who live near state prisons. There are some inmates currently right now who have refused to eat food because of the poor quality of food that we serve in our institutions. And we know how dangerous prison unrest can be, and I think we owe it to the men and women who serve as our state corrections officers in our state to de-escalate these situations. But only after public outcry and intense media scrutiny was the contract with Aramark ended. And unfortunately, we passed that contract off to another private company, and unsurprisingly now we're learning that we're hearing the same type of allegations that we heard with the last contractor. 59 of its kitchen employees have been fired or subjected to stop orders which ban them from prison property, all for infractions that are similar to the same thing that we saw with Aramark, including issues once again with food quality. Now this is just not an embarrassment to our state, but it is creating a growing security problem, okay, for the correction officers who serve there. And so this has to be stopped. It's not only dangerous, but it's a waste of our taxpayers' dollars. So what my amendment would do, Mr. Speaker, would allow 370 full-time state workers to return to prison facilities, putting this service back in the hands of the dedicated, highly trained professionals. And when you try to run government like it's a business, this is what you get. You get what you pay for. And we've seen time and time again across the state that the absolute failure of entrusting services to the lowest bidder has resulted in giving us results like this. So when profit is your priority, public safety and common decency often take a back seat. The prison service privatization has failed in the state of Michigan. The Veterans Home privatization has failed in the state of Michigan, which you'll hear about. So my question is, Mr. Speaker, how many more of our correctional officers need to risk their lives because of unrest, because inmates are tired of being mistreated? Being treated right, regardless to if you're incarcerated or not, is a human right. How many more of our veterans need to be left covered in their own filth? And so this is our chance to right our wrongs, to leave a legacy other than a total breakdown of basic human services. So today I urge my colleagues to support this amendment and end this failed chapter in the experimental privatization for state services. And thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Durhal. Question for the House is adoption of the amendment. Clerk will open the board. The amendment is not adopted.